How you guys doing out there? My name is Kyle and I'm finally going to be talking about the film Zootopia, which I finally just saw a couple nights ago. This film stars Ginnifer Goodwin, who plays Snow White in Once Upon a Time. And in this film, she plays a young rabbit cop named Judy Hopps, who as a child dreamed of going to the city of Zootopia, a land where all animals get along. There are different climates for different animals, like jungles, deserts, and just frozen tundras. However, Judy is the first bunny to have ever passed police academy to become a cop. So everyone just looks down on her because she's just a tiny bunny. So try not to spoil anything. Certain circumstances lead her to take charge in a case involving a missing otter, which leads her to team up with a sly con artist, Fox, played of course by Jason Bateman. Guys, I absolutely love Zootopia. This is the best movie I've seen of 2016 since 10 Cloverfield Lane. I absolutely fell in love with this movie, and not just because it's extremely bright, vivid, and of course very wonderful to look at, but it's the fact that this movie has some very dark subplots in it that I'll get to in a second. But I'd first like to talk about what's on all of our minds, and that is this movie is very cute. And I know I don't like to say that word, but this movie is fun, it's cute, and it's inviting. This is a movie definitely for families to watch. It's very powerful for kids, but like every other Disney movie, it's also very powerful to parents as well. There are tons of plots that the parents will get. The kids are going to be like, huh, what's going on? For starters, the chemistry between the two leads is spectacular. Ginnifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman both work very well together. You can tell they had a blast working on this project because their performances are just top notch. And there's also a really good supporting cast involving Idris Elba and J.K. Simmons. I had no idea J.K. Simmons was in this movie, but the second I heard his voice, I'm thinking to myself, is that? Yes, that's J.K. Simmons. Also, the plot and the mystery itself is really fun. It's very engaging. You are totally in this movie from start to finish. It's very, very powerful, but the mystery itself just makes you second guessing a lot. And I was actually very surprised with the amount of twists and turns they had throughout this film. But what I think really surprised me, as well as most other people, is this movie has some very interesting things to say about race, gender, sexuality, and most of all, stereotypes. This movie has a very, very important subplot that runs throughout the entire film that talks about prey and predators, and how in Zootopia they really go hand in hand. But as certain things keep going throughout the film, you realize a lot of the characters are very prejudiced. You realize that there are a lot of stereotypes like, oh, that guy's a predator, you should run away from him. Or she's a prey, we should go after her. There's a lot of those small themes in this movie, and they all work beautifully. The script is fantastic. It's beautifully well written and paced. The characters are all great, and the score by Michael Giacchino is fantastic. You can listen to the score alone of this movie, and it just sounds so awesome and wild and just really cool. And he's done so many other scores for many other Pixar films. Also, guys, about midway through the film, there's a reference to a popular 1970s film that when I saw it, I was laughing so hard. It was one of the most unexpected things I have seen in the movie in quite some time. And when that sequence came on, and you heard the accent, I'm not going to spoil it, I was just dying from laughter. It was so funny, guys. The only issue I have with Zootopia is that I think there are 2 or 3 sequences where the exposition gets a little heavy-handed, where characters are really just opening up about their entire villainous plot in front of our protagonist just so they can know what's going to happen so that the plot can advance. Yes, guys, I understand this happens in a ton of films, but I mean, wow. The amount of exposition they drop is huge. So besides that brief, tiny little problem, I loved Zootopia. This movie is phenomenal. This is a definite Blu-ray pickup for me. I cannot wait to rewatch this film. And I think any little kid who watches this movie is going to absolutely love it insanely and rewatch it multiple times. I know I did that all the time with films like Ratatouille and The Incredibles. Those were just movies that really made my childhood awesome with animation. This is a beautifully animated film. The CGI is just timeless. The acting, directing, writing, storytelling, everything about it is just great. It's just that tiny little expositional sequence that keeps me from giving it a perfect grade. But guys, Zootopia was excellent, and I'm going to give this film an A. So what do you guys think about Zootopia? I'd love to hear all your comments, so send them in the comment section below. And guys, thank you so much for watching my reviews. As always, you guys are the greatest. Thank you so much as always for watching, and stay tuned for my spoiler-filled review of Suicide Squad. Thank you guys. Stay tuned.